I left him with my sister Louisa so he could...
Derek, if I can stop you for a moment, what are you doing here?
We've already fixed the garboard on, which is the first plank, and now we're starting to fix the rest of the planking, 14 planks altogether.
It looks a long and laborious process.
Yes, every plank is done separately, moulded separately by itself. Took a long job.
I notice you're not working from any plans.
No, we set up a centre mould, which gives us the shape of the boat, which we work out between ourselves and the owner, and do the rest by eye.
What's the magic for you of building one of these?
Just that it's all done by hand and done by eye. You know, very few machines involved in it. I've got the record of when the building went up, which was 1903. That my great-grandfather was repairing and building boats before then in the same site. I started my apprenticeship straight from school at 14 and served my apprenticeship firstly with my grandfather and then when he packed up with my father.
Was your grandfather a very good boat builder?
Oh yes, he was a shipwright and that's all he'd done all his life. And he carried on working until he was about 75, I think. Always there looking at us, watching us.
Was he a hard taskmaster?
Quite hard, yes. There was no shortcuts to anything at all. Had to do the job properly.
It's a 31'6" Hastings fishing boat for the beach. It's ordered at 31'6", but we give them 31'7", so they've got a bit of extra measure for good, don't complain. It's clinker built, wych elm on oak with elliptic stern, as opposed to a transom stern with a loop, which is quite normal. It's very basic, really. The start of everything was with Vikings, I suppose, clinker-built boats. And this thing has found to be work on the beach. They don't got any caulking ends to fall out. If you had a carvel-built boat, they hit the beach and the caulking would start to move and work out between the planks. So these have got nothing like that to fall out. It's just wood to wood with rivets to hold it together.
And the oak that's in it, is it all specially chosen? Is it particular sort of oak?
Well, it has to be curved and the right shape. You have to pick it out. And sometimes you have to modify the shape of the boat to fit the timber with the availability of timber.
What sort of curves are you talking about?
The curve in the stem and curves in the bottom of the boat. And the knees, there's knees like these here, which are cut to shape.
Have you built this boat completely yourself?
I start them and then we get an apprentice who comes along and helps. And once the boat's got past the keel stage, we can all get on it. But I've built most of this boat on my own. It's not often we get the opportunity to do work like this on your own.
How long has it taken you?
I started just over a year ago. It was the first 3 months I worked on my own, just cutting out the timber. It seems to take ages and people wonder what you're doing. Just carving up great lumps of timber, and it doesn't look like anything, but just great curved lumps of wood lying about the shop with piles of shavings and, you know, what's he doing? Where's our boat? It works out after a time. I started here as an apprentice and worked at other yards and away and other jobs, but this is the only place that builds like this, and there are not that many opportunities to build wooden boats and get a free hand. You get very much of a free hand from one boat to another. I build slightly different to the governor, the way he builds, but you have to modify it a little bit. Fishermen can tell whether we've built them or it's been built somewhere else, or have a fair idea. We also can, there's little things that we always do. It's just like handwriting, I suppose, building your own boat. It's shaped in your own hands, so it comes out that way.
You're still getting on with the building of the boats?
We're still doing quite a bit of building, yeah. We've
Yeah.
still got the same problems, looking for the crook and such forth.
Probably we should be able to find the one you require.
Hopefully.
This morning.
Put that one over there, shall I? We want a 4-inch is what we're looking for, cut through and through.
Yes, yes.
Not particularly the whole length of it, but as long as possible.
So you don't mind if it's...
No, we don't
You'll
mind.
join it, will
We
you?
can
Yes,
staff the extra length on, yeah.
Well, probably we can find one in amongst these. Not a bad turn on it.
Not a bad, nice, yeah, nice
this-
bit of shape at the bottom.
Yeah, would this be long enough for you? Or?
Well, we could make that long enough if that's the best we can do. We can staff on, put on the extra length, yeah.
There's one hidden in the bottom here. I don't know if it's any advantage to you or not.
Well, it's longer, yeah, certainly it's longer.
Would that be better for
That
you?
would be better for this particular one,
You
yeah.
want one 4-inch?
One 4-inch.
Right. Every tree presents a problem because it's nature produced. And each one is different. It's like individuals, every tree is different. As you know, we save these as they come along.
Yeah, yeah.
Just in case you come up. You're about the last one of the boat building people that come along today. The customer comes and he tells me exactly what he requires, whether it's a crook or skinning for the boat, which we use witch elm for in most cases. And over the years, we've built up a friendship between us, and I know when he comes that he's looking for something out of the ordinary. And as a rule, I can generally find what he wants, yes.
So you've known the Phillipses for quite a time?
Yes, I have done, yes. And his father before him, matter of fact.
Are they a good firm?
Yes, they are, yes. I think you'll find they're an old established firm, and they've done a lot of local fishing boats and that.
And presumably good customers?
They have been in the past, yes. But you know the trade is a dying trade today, and people are going over to fibre and glass fibre and that, yes.
Do you think that's sad?
It is basically, yes. Because I don't think a boat looks right unless it's built of timber.
James's, the Whites, Peters, Peppers, Joys, Coglan, Harveys, and they're all like very, very big families, you know, 8 or 10 fishermen in each family sort of things.
And how far does your family go back?
Well, I can't really tell you. As far as I can go back is 2, 3 generations. But they tell me it goes back a hell of a lot further than that. And it is in the Hastings library how far the fishermen go back, and it's quite a long way. It's quite surprising.
And of course they all had nicknames. Why is that?
Well, it's a lot of them, like my father, I took his name from the spider crab. He used to hate him so much he used to smash him to pieces, and he automatically got named Spider. But the family name was Shankless. And then there's the Adams, which is Tollers. There's one I won't mention because I don't think it's quite nice. And there's there's the Weasels, the Shibbies. And that's as many as I can remember from now, you know. Oh, the Oxo, which is a Richardson, yes.
Do you object to being called Spider?
Oh, no. Certainly not. No, that would be silly, because my daughter calls me it. So, that would be very awkward.
Do you like spider crabs yourself?
No. I hate the sight of the flaming things. They do a lot of damage to us, but I'm afraid in a few years we will have to catch them. Because there is a market for them, and we shall have to go, well, we shall have to be taught how to catch them, obviously.
Will you do that?
Oh, yes. I'd sit on the end of a walk with a rod and line if it meant getting my living. Boats you'll ever find in this class of vessel.
Why is that?
Well, I suppose they're more like a barrel, like a tub. They're round, and they don't roll to and fro. They roll circular, which I suppose is hard to explain. But they in bad weather, they get to the top of the sea and they slide. They don't just roll; they roll and slide. Partly slide off the way all the time. Makes them like a surf boat.
So what do you think of fiberglass then?
Terrible. It doesn't wear. We've got one here at Hastings, but it doesn't work. It doesn't wear very well. I believe it's too brittle, personally, and I can't see them ever taking over from timber.
So how do you rate then Derek Phillips as a builder?
Personally, very, very good. Very good. I haven't been overseeing a new one much, but what I have seen of it is good workmanship.
Why haven't you been over much? I'd have thought you'd like to keep an eye on her.
Well, no, not really, because I can't tell him his job. He wouldn't tell me my job, so I shouldn't tell him his job. He knows what he's got to do, he knows what he's been asked to do, and that's all he can do. They've been doing it for years and years and years. If they don't know now, they never will.
Would you say then the boat is a part of you now?
Oh yes, I know what she's going to do. In bad weather, you know what she's going to do as each sea comes. You automatically know, you know where to put your wheel to answer and all such things as that. You know exactly what they're going to do.
Will you miss this one?
I don't know actually. It has been a part of my life ever since I was a young lad, I suppose. Still a baby now, but no, I probably will miss it, yes.
This is the first big one I've ever had the opportunity. This is the first big one that the yard's knocked out for a long time. So, consequently, I'll find it a little bit harder just to... I think it's basically most of the shape is just a great big punt, just the same as the small boats would be. All the principles are the same. It's just a heavier timber. Instead of bending half-inch timber, you're bending 7/8, which makes the lad grunt a bit when he's getting on the end and tends to throw him about when the cramps come off, but that's all right. It's him, not me.
And do you have many more orders for these?
No, I doubt whether they'll ever get another order for these. It's a lot of money.
I think there's a market for these boats, the smaller boats, for quite a few years to come. The bigger boats are dying out, they cost a lot of money, and the fishing industry as it is now, there isn't the demand for them.
What sort of price would the 30-foot one be?
The 30-footer will be around about £30,000.
And can you just, if it's not too embarrassing, just go through the rough economics of that as far as you're concerned?
Well, the cost of the boat, of that particular boat, would be probably about £15,000, the hull and the fitting out. The machinery, another £8,000, and the electronics such as radar, wireless, fish finder and that sort of thing, probably another £5,000.
That doesn't sound as if it leaves an awful large profit margin.
No, this is one of the problems nowadays. There's an awful lot of labour involved in building the boats, and the profit margin is not very large on this type of boat.
So almost a labour of love.
Yes, yes.
Hey!
Really, Andrew?
Yeah, that's Andrew.
Very nice.
You're lucky, Andrew. Won't have to drink that bit.
Yeah, saved there.
How are the lads doing, in fact?
Oh, they do all right. You know, just abuse them. But that's why other apprentices have always been abused. They keep coming back for more, so it can't be too bad.
Is it a bit of a feudal system?
It is feudal, yes. But perhaps it's humanly feudal. Something that people can really grasp. You come in and you can see the governor, as opposed to everything being very remote. Perhaps it's a personal contact. We see the customers. We see everybody that comes round. So you know a lot of what's happening.
Do you feel the responsibilities of running a firm like this, then?
Oh, you do, yes. Particularly on this type of boat, which are getting a little bit few and far between. After all, it is our trade, and we really like to keep to building the Hastings luggers. But there might come a time in the future where we have to go into something new. And we do, even now, we've fitted out fiberglass and steel, ferrous cement, that type of thing, but we'd much prefer to stick to our normal type of clinker-built boats.
You're sitting in front of the last boat you built?
That's right, yeah. More or less traditional, as you can see the shape of it. They haven't altered, the shape of the boats actually haven't altered a lot, have they, Derek?
Not greatly, no.
No. A little better under the forefoot, you know, the bow, the way they cut away and that, because they got a lot more power.
What makes your boat so successful?
Just tradition, I suppose. Couldn't say. They're built, we won't build junk. We build a boat as it should be built, and that's as simple as that. And I think it's got us a good name everywhere, and that's why they keep coming back all the time. Mind you, it's altered somewhat. Years ago, everything was bored by hand, and everything was planed by hand. No power tools. That used to be hard work. Adze, choppers, all this, that, and the other, getting the planks out. But otherwise, I mean, well, there you are. Basically, the type of boat hasn't altered all that much.
Can you remember how many you've built?
Oh, Lord, no. Could go back, I suppose. We've still got my dad's books floating around somewhere, but, oh, I couldn't say.
And what about continuing the family tradition? Does that mean something to you?
Oh, yes, not half. Where's that young lad? He's the next. Here he is. He's the next one. Aren't you, Martin? You're going to build boats, aren't you? Yes, I thought you would.
And that means something to you, does it?
Oh, not half. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, there you are. You've got that feeling that there's the name, there's the tradition. Keep going on down the family.